As we continue, let's talk to Jenn Tucker. She is the owner of Milla and Ella. Her name is Jenn Tucker, and here's Jenna Jackson at the same time. Welcome to the show, Jenn.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let's tell people about your company, Milla and Ella.
Okay, well, we have this great little concept where we have clothing for the littles, the middles, and the mamas. We focus on teens, tweens, 20-somethings, college kids, and clothing for the women as well.
I love your shop, Jenn.
Oh, thank you.
My husband might hear this. Hopefully he won't, but I've been in way too many times.
Oh, sorry.
But no, I love that concept that, I can come in and get something for my niece who's a freshman in high school. And I can also find something cute for myself that's like not too young for me in my 40s. So,
oh, that's so nice to hear. Yes, we started off with just women's apparel when we first opened up the store in 2000. And I had this tiny little teenage section, and there was a huge demand for it. So it just started spreading and spreading and growing and growing. Eventually, it just took over my entire store. So we decided to expand in January, opened up a whole new space just for the women's apparel.
that is so exciting. I don't know if I've been into the new one yet. I need to come in. So tell me how you got started, with this originally. Like, how did you get into this business? I know you're a mom. We'll talk about that a little bit. But how did you get started?
In the year 2000, I opened my first boutique in Wharton, Texas. It was in this great old historical building right across from the courthouse. Loved it. We had the whole concept of you do not have to drive to Houston to get great things. We had a coffee shop in the middle of it. I had an ice cream bar. It was amazing. So stayed there for a few years, and it was time to come back to Houston. Got married, had kids, couldn't get rid of that retail bug. So I started off doing a lot of markets and Christmas shows. We started very small, like at little church events. Then we, got a little bit bigger, and started doing the Nutcracker Market. So now we still do the shows, and we have the store. So busy.
That's a lot of juggling.
It's a lot of juggling.
So how has it been to see it grow? Because I feel like you've really, the community clearly loves you. You've really grown quickly,
Thank you. Yes, we decided to make the move actually during COVID, which is, a bit of a jump. A lot of people were shutting down and things were closing, and this space became available, and we just jumped right in, and it was really a blessing. People were able to come in, try on the clothes. We have a really intimate atmosphere, so when people do come in, they want to stay in, especially the young girls. We have couches, we have music, we have teenage girls that work there. So it's just a really inviting atmosphere.
Okay, so how did you come up with such a great concept for girls when you're a boy mom?
Well, I do have two stepdaughters that have been with me since the ages of 3 and 5, and they were both little fashionistas, and really fun to dress. They loved fashion. I love fashion, so kind of just put me where I needed to be.
That's
My
awesome.
son is definitely over just me carrying women's clothes. He's ready for me to open up a little boy store.
Maybe that's next.
Maybe.
That's awesome. So what are you seeing right now? Like, as far as, what's trending, we're back to school. What's coming up that's getting people in the door? What do you want people to know?
Well, right now, I think we're putting a main focus on homecoming. We just finished all of our pref and rush dresses. Homecoming's a big thing. We have a huge selection, all price points. We like to keep it under $100. A lot of moms love to come in and get that dress, get that shoe, get the accessories, knock it all out, a one-stop shop. So that's kind of our big focus right now. We're also gearing up for all these Christmas markets. So, we have a fashion show coming up next week. So that's another thing. Fall transition is really going to be huge this year. We got a lot of like vegan leathers coming out, a lot of cool things like that.
Yeah, so for someone who wears a white T-shirt of some sort and jeans just about every day, tell me what I should be wearing.
You can just accessorize it with some really cool jewelry. You could pop a cool heel, boots. The cream Western wear boots are really, really big this year. I would always, throw on a cute equestrian belt. There's tons of things to do with the white tee.
But you've got so many dresses, cute tops. Like, what else? Walk us through what people can find when they come visit you.
So we have just about a little bit of everything, actually. You can walk in. You're going to see the women's apparel, the teens apparel. We have a heavy emphasis on gift items. We do a lot of things for birthday parties, a lot of grab-and-go gifts. We have candles. We have, really just about everything. There's not really anything that we don't carry at that store.
Jen, let's tell people where the store is. People listening right here in Houston certainly want to know if they haven't been there, and also those that visit. The amount of visitors that we get, especially during the holiday season, is going to be amazing this year. But where's the store?
So we're located off of Gaylord, and it's just tucked right behind the feeder road on Southwest Freeway. It used to be a restaurant, Jonathan's The Rub, right next door. They've now moved across the freeway. We're right there, and then we also have 2 satellite stores in both Katy and Sugarland. The stores are called the Painted Tree, and we have some pretty good sized booth space in those stores.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's the best way for people to find you? Like, is it social media, your website?
So you can shop online at our website, which is millandella.com. TikTok channel has been very big for the young girls. So our TikTok channel is Shop Milla and Ella 1. I would love to see people stop by the store anytime they'd like. And also, if you're in the Katy or Sugarland area, just pop into the Painted Tree.
That's
Man,
awesome.
you're covering all the bases.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm thinking about, yes, it's the back to school. It's also, you mentioned the Nutcracker market.
Now that's a big one.
So you'll have a display there.
Yes, we're always in the very front row, all the way down to the right by the Round Top Collection. This year, we've expanded into a bigger space on a corner, so we're really excited about that. We'll be there as Milla and Ella.
Milla and Ella, so people could check that out.
Absolutely.
How do you know what to buy in terms of items and trends? How do you know how much to buy?
Well, that's always a slippery slope. When you go to market, I mean, you're really going to want to take your time in selecting items. I think you really have to have an eye for it. I just have been very fortunate to go in and kind of get a feel for what I think is going to be the next hot item. And I don't know, I think maybe you're born with it.
That's awesome.
How do you know how much to buy?
You really don't.
Do you look at the register and say, oh, we've sold this much of that a week ago or a month ago or last year? How does that work?
Trying to figure out exactly how much to buy for 3 stores is a juggle. It really is. When I see something that I'm like really passionate, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a bestseller, I order heavy. If it's teen or tween and I think that the girls are really going to love it, I order really heavy. With having all these markets and shows, you really just can't overorder. I have plenty of outlets and avenues to spread it all around.
Jenna, I think that's an industry term, ordering heavy.
I think it is too.
I do that at restaurants sometimes.
Yeah, well, that
Order
doesn't
heavy.
help me fit into the Milla and Ella dresses the next day, though, Bill.
I see.
So, I mean, do you also get advice? Like, anytime I come in, I see these cute high school, college girls over the summer working at the shop, Do they kind of weigh in? They're like, oh my gosh, we love this. We're seeing this. I'm sure you get over advice.
Let me tell you, I could not do anything without these girls. They are amazing at what they do. They come in and they've learned about fashion just very quickly. I mean, they come in, they look at these things, and, before you know it, they're very passionate about it. Someone will come in and we really get excited when we can dress that 11-year-old, that 12-year-old, the 13-year-old. It's a very awkward age. It's a very awkward stage. They're either things are too mature or they're a little too baby or they're not quite filled out yet. And, that is a big reward for us. And the high school girls love it. They love making these little girls happy. And then, the teenagers look up to our college girls and they take their advice. And, moms will sit back and go, I can't dress the girls. We're like, don't worry, we got you. So we let the moms sit on the couch and we just take over.
That's really cool. That's a cool mentorship thing, too. Like, it's like you're raising this generation of fashionistas.
And it's so sad when they go off to college. But the good thing is they always come back in the summer and they want to work. It's rewarding.
What's the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur? What have you found?
I think the hardest thing is trying to be at 2 places at the same time. I feel like I miss out on a lot of events with my family. I don't get to go to, the college football games because I have a show coming up. I think that's the biggest challenge for me is trying to juggle and, keep my family life the way it needs to be and, also keep my business successful and growing.
Yeah, because the whole work-life balance for a working mom is non-existent.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's just non-existent.
We could have a whole show about that.
Absolutely.
Work-life balance.
I mean, what is that?
Yeah.
It's BS.
Well, one of the things when we think about success, if we're doing something we like, yes, it's not work, and that's enjoyable to do. I mean, I find myself doing stuff that's related to my profession at all hours, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, no, that's really true. It's that whole follow your passion thing and you'll be successful, right?
Absolutely.
As far as the end of the year, when we think of the end of the year in your business and then looking ahead, it's going to be a busy end of the year just because of holidays and all the momentum you have going. And then how do you look forward to 2023?
Oh, we love looking forward to January. It's our down month. So that's when we
Yeah,
actually
take a
can
break.
catch a break. We can reset, regroup, get ready for the new year. We are hoping to expand our store next month. However, it could get delayed until January, and secretly, I'm kind of hoping for that, to be honest with you.
It's not a secret anymore,
It's not
Jen.
a secret anymore. I'm going to let everybody know.
It's
if
just
it doesn't
between
happen,
us.
yes,
Yeah,
if it
don't
doesn't
tell
happen
anybody.
until January, we'll be just fine.
We're
No.
talking with Jenn Tucker. She's the owner of Milla and Ella. One of the things I think about, whatever the business is restaurants, but a business like yours, one of the fun things is, yes, when you're profitable, when things are exciting, that's great. But I think one of the things I would enjoy is, and tell me if you do, is when you bring in a new product. It's almost like a laboratory. You bring the product, maybe you're even buying heavy
Yeah.
or light or medium, but whatever it is, you bring in the product and then you present it. You do a great job of presentation. You put it out there, and then you watch. Hey, how many am I going to sell? Do people like it? Do they love it? Are they passionate about it? And does it take off? It's like a laboratory. Is it fun?
Oh, it's so much fun. I mean, we really do get excited when we get new things in, just to see the feedback or the read on it. We love to do that. And sometimes you fail, but a lot of times we succeed, and that's what makes everything exciting at Milla and Ella.
How many times do you go to market?
This year alone, I've been to market 7 times.
Oh my gosh.
So we've started going to market in both Vegas and Atlanta. Dallas is always one of my favorites because I know it like the back of my hand. This year they had a quick market in Nashville, and sometimes we go to the LA market. We have not been this year, but I like going to the different markets because you get to see different vendors that you wouldn't normally see in Dallas.
I think that's so interesting because even when I travel, like if you're in LA or New York or London or wherever, you see different fashion, different styles. And I'm always like, okay, does it start in London, then
It
go to
does.
New York, then get to us? Or like, how does that, it's fascinating to me.
Houston typically is about a year behind, say London, or maybe 6 months behind LA. Sometimes more behind. But it is kind of nice to be able to see it first, so you can go ahead and get in there and be the first one to have it. Sometimes it takes a little while to actually, get this product to take off. But if you just wait it out a little bit, it will.
That's so interesting how those trends work.
When you mention London and fashion, I'm going to reveal my age now because I remember back in the, Beatles days and things like that, fashion did seem like it came from London. I mean, where did the bell bottom come from back in those days? Probably London. Big scarves and some Twiggy and all these other. You don't even know those
Yes,
people.
I do,
But you do know
Bill.
the Beatles, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so
Well, the bell bottoms are still here.
They're back.
They came
Oh,
back.
they're
right?
back. And the wide leg, high waist, all of that.
It's like everything old is new again. Don't throw anything
No.
away.
80s and 90s are back. It's not going anywhere.
order heavy. That's
Order
all I
heavy.
know. We're talking with Jenn Tucker, and oh yeah, Jenna Jackson. How about that? Jenn Tucker, she's the owner of Milla and Ella. Before we close the segment, Jenn, what else do you want people to know? Let's tell them the website again and the name of your other 2 satellite stores.
Okay, well, please come check us out at the Nutcracker Market. This year, I think it's going to be bigger and better than ever. That's Nutcracker Market by the Houston Ballet, and we're in booth 143. You can also find us at millandella.com. We're located at 9055 Gaylord in the Memorial area, or you can stop by if you're in Katy or Sugar Land at the Painted Tree.
millandella.com. Well, thanks for being with us.
Thanks
So
for having
many
us.
opportunities to shop.
All right,
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.